reporting for BlazerTV.com. We're inside the BlazerTV.com studios here in Birmingham, where earlier today at Legion Field, the Blazers did battle with SEC foe Mississippi State before an announced crowd of over 28,000, as lots of fans made the trip from Starkville to Birmingham. And UAB fans were getting the early laugh over the Mississippi State fans, as a 3-0 halftime lead was where the Blazers were, looking the best they have all year defensively. But after halftime, the offense still couldn't get going, and UAB failed at Mississippi State 21-3. After the game, we talked to some UAB defensive players and Coach Neil Callaway about the improved defensive effort and what the offense could have done better to help the team.
There's no question defensively we've gotten better, particularly up front, stopping the run, and we're not where we need to be, where we want to be. But at the same time, you know, like I said, if we're going to win ball games, there's no margin for error. We can't make mistakes, and we had some mistakes that cost us, and today that we got to make sure we don't happen. You know, very disappointed, and where we played the second half, they changed quarterbacks, which I think did help them. Obviously, they were a little more effective when he got in the ball game, but at the same time, you know, we had mistakes. A missed tackle here, a missed alignment here. I thought we just had too many mistakes that cost us certain plays. And like I've said before, you know, we're not the kind of football team that can afford to make mistakes. There's not much room for error with us. So we got to do everything right. If we do, we got a chance. If we don't, then we struggle.
I felt like we played good today. It's just a couple of big plays that we had to stop for us in order for us to be a great defense. But we're working on it. We're getting there. It seemed like it changed a lot because when they put the other quarterback in, they wanted to throw the ball more. When they had the other quarterback in, they were just pretty much trying to run the ball the whole game. So it changed a lot. They opened up their playbook more when they put the other quarterback in.
While the Blazer offense clearly struggled today, the UAB defense still took their part of the blame for not being able to maintain their performance in the second half that they had in the first half against the Bulldogs.
I think our offense eventually pulled together, but our defense still not holding no team to zero, so we don't point any fingers.
Still, if defense doesn't let them score, we still win the game. So either way, we could have did something better and they could have did something better. Just got to play harder. I mean, like I said, if they don't score, we win. I mean, sometimes our offense is going to struggle, but as a defense, we're supposed to protect our house, so that's what we got to do.
UAB head football coach Neil Callaway and the Blazer players are having to answer questions about being 0-5 when this season they were predicted by many to go to a bowl game. Questions being poised were, how do they stay focused and where do they go from here, trying to pick up the pieces of what's left of their season.
Hard loss when you know you played your heart out. People looking outside in gonna say negative things about us because we're 0-5, but it's nothing like we're not trying. We're out there playing hard, but when you're looking outside in, it sounds negative. But we'll block that out because we know who we are and what kind of team we have.
Of course not, man. After a loss, man, it's tough to deal with. And, like, we've facing a lot of adversity in the season. Losing one of my best friends, my roommate, Tim Davis. It's just been a tough week, man, but we got to keep fighting. We got to find a way, some type of way.
Just strap back up Tuesday and practice hard. That's all you can do. Try to overcome adversity.
Even if we went 0-12 this year, man, the team got to stay close on the inside. At the end of the day, we all we got, man. 10 years from now, if I come back and see my teammates, I want to be able to say that we had a good run. We might not didn't win all the games that we was expected to win, and we came close to the games that we were expected to lose, came close to winning those. But at the end of the day, man, we're a family, and we got to stick together.
Last week, in his first start for injured UAB quarterback Brian Ellis, Jonathan Perry stepped in and led the Blazer offense very well and made only one bad mistake all day. Neil Callaway praised him after the game. This week, a little bit different story, as Perry missed some receivers in the downfield passing game. Neil Callaway came away not as impressed and said that Perry played mediocre at best. While he did make some good decisions, overall it just was not the same performance that Perry had in his first start.
He missed some throws. I missed some throws, made some throws. Was he productive overall? I'd say he's probably about average. Just my assessment watching it. Made some good decisions, ran the ball decent, pulled it down and ran it, made some plays. But there again, if we're going to be a productive offense, we got to hit those down the field throws, and we didn't get that done.
Next week, the Blazers travel to Tulsa, Oklahoma to take on the Golden Hurricanes as the Blazers at 0-5 will try to get their first win of the season. While the defense has made considerable improvements over the first 5 games, the UAB offense just went through their 3rd game of the season without an offensive touchdown. What can the Blazers do to try to get on track and get their first win of the season next week in Oklahoma?
Being out, and then offensively we got to sustain some drives. That's another thing. Offensively, we couldn't come up with that big play again. We had some opportunities, but we didn't get that done. And I was disappointed offensively in a lot of things, but particularly the penalties. We had too many penalties that we shouldn't have.
Just keep them off the field. Keep the ball going, keep the ball alive, and just driving up down the field. I mean, eventually, if a defense be on the field a long time, then they're going to be tired. So as an offense, we got to get better with communication and fixing the problem so that way we can keep our defense off the field.
But it's up to each individual. I mean, it comes from within. It comes from each individual. They're gonna make up their mind to do, stay together, or they're gonna start, separating. And I don't think that happen. But it's certainly, I think it comes from within.
This is Tyler Cantrell reporting for BlazerTV.com.